Many of Word's behaviors, the things that Word does when you type some text or select text or click on a command, are default behaviors that you can change by changing a few settings. For example, when you select some text and then point to the selection, a mini toolbar appears with formatting tools. Or when I have text selected and I choose an item from a gallery and I see it in my document before I even click, that live preview is another option. And the same thing is true with Word's appearance, from the color behind the ribbon to the tabs that show on the ribbon. All of these are customizable. In this chapter, we'll see how to set the options that control how Word looks and how Word behaves. To access the options, we'll choose File to go backstage and then select Options. At the top, we have the general options, the options that are most frequently changed in Microsoft Word. For example, that mini toolbar and live preview are two options that people turn off. Some people find those annoying, but more to the point, they take a lot of computing power. So if you're running Word on a netbook, you might want to turn off some of the options that take more computing power so that Word is spunkier. The background of our ribbon and our entire window is silver. We have two other choices of color schemes, blue and black. We have a choice for how screen tips appear. Right now, if I point to an item on the screen, I get a feature description as part of my screen tip. For example, if I point to the underline button, I get not just the name of the button and the shortcut key, but the description, underline the selected text, or a longer description here that tells me all about the format painter. I might want a shorter description, and in order to get a shorter description, I could say, don't show the feature description, just show me the shortcut key and the name, or don't show me screen tips at all. When Office is installed on your computer in your organization, it may not have your username in it. It might have the company name or company name and user, and you should put your own name here and your own initials, because this is the text that shows up when you are working with other users reviewing a document. And then finally, a startup option that is all about Microsoft Outlook rather than Microsoft Word. If you open a Word attachment in Microsoft Outlook, by default it can open in that full screen reading view that looks like a book. It's very readable, but you lose some formatting, and some users prefer not to use full screen reading view unless they choose it. To prevent attachments in Outlook from opening in full screen reading view in Word, you make sure that this option is turned off. The display options control how the document itself appears on the screen. And one option you may choose to turn on here would be to always show paragraph marks, even when you have Show Hide set to hide. This allows you to make sure that when you're selecting an entire paragraph to create a style or to cut a paragraph to move somewhere else, that you have everything, including the final paragraph mark, so that you have all of the paragraphs formatting. The proofing tools were discussed earlier in the chapter on proofing documents. Our save choices are a simple set that begins with what default format you want to use when you save a document. This is set for all of Microsoft Word. So right now when I save documents, I'm saving them using the 2010 format, DocX. However, if I work in a mixed environment and I'm the first user to 2010 and other people are back in Word 2003, I might for a while want to choose a different default format, simply so I don't forget and send 2010 documents to people who can't open them right now. However, in doing that, I give up the ability to use some of the newer features of Word 2010. By default, there's an auto-recover copy of your document saved every 10 minutes. You can make this more frequent or less frequent, or you can turn it off altogether. If you turn it off and you lose power in the middle of an editing session, there will be nothing to recover. The language options were discussed earlier in the Proofing Documents chapter. And then finally we come to the advanced options, a hodgepodge really of all of the options that weren't put anyplace else. Everything else that you can customize about Microsoft Word that can be set anywhere is here on the Advanced tab. It's worth simply knowing that there are options for editing, for cut, copy, and paste, for document content, the display, and so forth. But these advanced options are options that you might never change in the time that you're working in Microsoft Word. The remaining two groups of options allow you to customize Word's command and control interface and change settings for how Word interacts with add-ins, macros, and other programs. We'll customize the ribbon in the next movie, and we learned how to customize the Quick Access toolbar way back in the first chapter. As you can see, it's easy to change options to make Word work the way you want it to. One last thought. If you don't know what a setting does, don't simply change it and try to figure it out. Some quick online research or taking a look in the help files for Word 2010 before you save an unknown option can save you a lot of frustration later.